Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
This is Kuban Cassius for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by Dave. Your face looks like it's got really slimmer. Why? Have you had a haircut or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Really
Might this camera maybe. I don't know. I might have a longer beard.
Maybe
me beard trim maybe. Yeah.
Have you been?
But I have. Do you know what? I've been doing a bit of training and not gorging on shite. Do you know what I mean? So I'm probably around just be above what I normally fight at anyway. So that might be what it is. I don't know. Okay.
You look different. You look well anyway. That's what I was trying to play.
Thank you, mate. That's the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing.
How's life been in general for you over the last sort of few weeks since we last caught up?
All right, you know, yeah, I've been busy doing a couple of bits of work with property and things like that I'm doing. So I'm back on the tools, back on the Jimmy Jules myself now, driving around in a little white van with like little beacon lights on the top, you know, like little siren lights. Every now and then I put them on if I get a bit excited. But no, yeah, I've been doing bits of work in the house and that, but you know what? It's kept me busy. I've been out the house most of the day because this was before the gyms opened. And yeah, it's good to just keep your mind occupied. You know, fighters, professional sportsmen and women in general spend a lot of time sitting down with nothing to do in between training sessions. So that's what you get used to and you become accustomed to. So this has been an eye-opener for me, getting back out and about, busy through the day, because I haven't had a minute to stop and think about anything. And then the weeks have flown by, really. But that's coming to the end of that now. And I've just started getting back in the gym, doing little bits and bobs of just weights. And I've been rowing, been getting on the rowing machine. I've been trying that for a little change. And that's it, really. But everything's good, all good.
Good to hear, good to hear. So, is there any kind of pending fight news for you coming up, or
no, not on really. And I don't know where the will something will come up when I get back in the gym. But I need to get back in the gym and put a pair of gloves on and hit something and do a couple of weeks of proper training and see how I feel, type of thing. Because I haven't punched anything since. What about February, I think? And I've, like I said last time, this shoulder problem. I kept using my shoulder, lifting weights, but the latest directions are to not do any pushing exercises, bench press, shoulder press, you know, obviously punching fall into that category. So that's why I'm doing a bit of rowing, you know, just other alternatives while I can rest. And then when that feels okay, I'll get in the gym and start punching something. And if I feel like punching someone in the face, then I'll get on the phone then and say, get me a fight.
Because it just seems like, I mean, listen, everyone's always talking about the heavyweight division, but it just seems like there are still a load of fights out there that could be matched up with yourself.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. It's changing all the time, isn't it? The landscape changes all the time, and you know, it's like the fight with Dillian of the week. There's always a little upset here and there, and that just changes things a little bit. And people are always looking for decent opponents with a decent name as well. Especially the promoters, they're always looking for someone who the fans will go, right, I'll watch that. It's interesting one way or another, and I think I fall into that category. That's why. You know, if I weren't in that category, I probably would have walked away a long time ago because I wouldn't have seen the opportunities that have been given. So, you know, I'll just wait. I'll just wait and see what comes along. And if it tickles me fancy, then yeah. But if not, if it's something that I'd go, it's a bit of an ask, and you know, do I really want to be in that type of fight? Then like I said last time, I'll just say no. But until then, you know, I'm still available.
It's coming back to that. It's been a couple of weeks now since that fight, and when we kind of look back at Dillian's defeat, there was a lot of similarities between like how that fight played out and how your fight played out with Povetkin in the fact that you were so close to stopping Povetkin, and then obviously it didn't pan out that way. But same with Dillian. Dillian, the round before, dropped him twice. We were kind of all expecting him to finish the job in that 5th round, and then obviously got caught with that peach of an uppercut from Povetkin. And but there was similarities between that and your fight, because you know, people forget, not forget, but people must know that you were so close to beating Povetkin as well.
Yeah, well, it did come close. I mean, I think the difference in my fight was that he had me down first, then I had him here, type of thing. But when I caught Povetkin with that left hook, it was one of them punches which are always the best ones, where you hardly feel it lands, and you're like, they're the ones where you throw combination, and you feel one, and all of a sudden they're on the floor, and you're like, fucking hell, what happened there? They're the best shots. They're the ones where you're not really trying, and that happens, and that's why I was a little bit, I hesitated a little bit, or at least didn't want to rush in, because I know that when he's wounded animal, Povetkin, he's at his most dangerous, and that's what he proved against Dillian, and he did with myself. But with Dillian the other week, although he's trained to perfect what he's done with that punch, I've said it the other day, so many different things for a punch like that to come off have got to happen at the same time from both fighters, and it was a perfect storm. You know, he could have tried that 100 times more in that fight, and it wouldn't have landed on that spot at that time. It just fell into place. It just fell into place perfect. And that's not saying he hasn't prepared to increase the chances of it happening to as high as possible, because that's what you do when you train. But my God, he couldn't have done it any better, could he? It was just like, you know, like I said, I don't think he could do it to that degree if he tried 100 times more in that fight. But when he's a wounded animal, he's dangerous, and he just hangs in there anyway, doesn't he? You know, when he had him down a couple of times in the 4th round, you're like, yeah, it'll be over in a minute. But you've got to remember, Klitschko had him down 4 times. When Klitschko was at his peak, by the way, 2013, and he's just gone in there. He's a dog. He's like an old dog. He just keep going. So it's made things interesting.
It is the key in that situation, David, when you have Povetkin hurt. You said that you kind of hesitated. Dillian, I think after the last knockdown of round 4, the round come to an end. But is the key when he's hurt is to go for the kill and try and finish him off there and then, because the more time you leave it, the risk of what happening to yourself and to Dillian can always happen with someone as dangerous as Povetkin.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be the way to go. If you do hurt him, just try and get him out of there. And obviously, there's always the danger of getting caught on the way in, but his punch accuracy and his time is that good. He's always got that, you know, whether he's hurt or, you know, whether he look immediately hurt and you jump on him, that'll still be there, but that's your best chance of getting him out of there. If I had my time again, and hindsight's great, as soon as I landed the punch, I'd charge across the ring and just hit him again. But it's all small margins, isn't it, at this level? You know, he staggered backwards when I caught him because he was on his heels a little bit. If he staggered forward a little bit, then it was open season, wasn't it, for me to just end the show? But these little small margins that are happening all the time, they all ultimately make up what's gonna be the end result. And what happened with Dillian, you know, he was sold the fate of the body, and it come up to the head, and it took him out. But yeah, Dillian could have just got himself all over Povetkin when he was hurt and ended the job. And hindsight, great, but at the same time, they probably did say, look, when he's hurt, he's dangerous, so just take our time. And it's high level, world level boxing. It's there's so much at stake. Is it worth risking it by just charging in and trying to end the show early? They're the decisions you're making on the night when it's 100 mile an hour in your mind and the adrenaline's flowing. Dillian took his time, but paid the price for it. But theoretically and logic will tell you, yeah, take your time, don't risk nothing. He's hurt, you know. Just it's going to come anyway, but it didn't.
Were you shocked ultimately about what happened? Because being there on the night, because of it played a big factor, the whole crowd thing. It made it more kind of a bit more eerie, the knockout.
Yeah.
But watching that yourself, were you shocked by what you were watching or not?
Yeah, I was. Given what had happened in the fourth round, yeah, I was then. The first few rounds were pretty even, but then the fourth round, it was like, yeah, he's going to go now, he's got him. And then it was just a ball from the blue, so it was like, fucking hell. But again, I shouldn't have been shocked, because Povetkin's a quality operator, and he's done that to, forget me, you know, I'm tall, you know, probably open to punches coming over the top, and I've been knocked out before. But Carlos Takam, Manuel Char, you know, Joan Zuaupas, 3 sturdy, low centre of gravity, shorter fighters with the hands high, the chin down. They're pretty much harder to knock out because they're protected better and they're more compact. And he chinned the 3 of them the way he chinned me, Dillian, and he's chinned the 3 of them like that. And so I shouldn't have been surprised. But you do start to look before the fight, you know, is age going to be a factor? And the last thing Povetkin will lose will be that punch. But he feels you're a bit Povetkin with his punching. At first, when I fought him, I was like, there's not much in these shots either. Can't really feel it. He's like, psh, 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 throwing body shots, like, sounds. But then he'll lull you into a bit of a false sense of security. And he'll pick the right time to let the shot go that he wants to do the damage. And that's why he's as good as he is. And, you know, that's why, like, Anthony Joshua's win over him has probably been underestimated as how good a win it was to knock him out in the 7th round. Because only Klitschko had beaten him before it, and it was a 12-round job. And so, yeah.
And that was a couple of years ago now. I mean, it was 2.5 years ago now.
Exactly. So, you know, that win's probably been not given the credit it deserved, but it probably will do now after seeing Dillian. But the other thing was Dillian Whyte has got an aura about him as a bit of a menace, and you know he's a hard bastard. We all know that, and to see him get that done to him, it was like, whoa, you know, that was a shock element as well. Even though people can say, oh, he's been down against Joseph Parker and Joshua will done what to him. Dillian Whyte's got a solid chin, and then to see that, it just goes to show it's heavyweight boxing. You get it in the right spot at the right time. It's lights out, no matter who you are.
Yeah. After the fight, there was a few people kind of looking back at the fight, kind of labelling it as a lucky punch and all that. And I think I spoke to Johnny Nelson straight after, and he suggested that. I spoke to him again yesterday, and he apologised for that because, you know, he said watching it back, he saw how Povetkin set that punch up. And I think to dismiss that as just a a lucky punch is a discredit to someone like Povetkin.
No, that's what I was saying before. Although I said he could try again for it to land the way it did, there's always an element of luck when you knock someone out. Because, like I said, that many different things have to happen at the same time for the punch to land in the perfect spot. You know, it's not just what you're doing, it's what the opponent's doing. But you increase your chances of it happening by drilling it in the gym, which he obviously has. He's obviously drilled that over in the gym. And, you know, best case scenario, that happens. Good case scenario, it lands and wobbles the opponent even. But you're drilling it in the gym. And it was just the best case scenario for what he practiced happened.
We're expecting to hear fight news of the rematch, which has been touted for November this year. So he's doing the right thing, in your opinion, by going straight back in with him? Because you were in a similar situation with the Tony Thompson fight, David, where you jumped straight in and it didn't quite work out for you. But in this situation, Dillian really hasn't got another choice but to jump straight back in with him, has he?
No, I don't think he has got another choice. And I think going off the way the fight was going and he was in control, then he can go, look, the shot lands as well. I'll make sure that won't happen again, and I'll have the fight won. But it is a gamble, because if he doesn't win, then where does he go? So now it's still fresh. You know, the cut's still fresh off the fight. So the best thing for him to do is go, right, we're having the rematch. It'll help him get over the defeat, because he's straight back in the gym and he can got something to look forward to and concentrate on. The worst thing when you lose is sitting around not knowing what's next, who you're going to fight, how am I going to get back to where I was, and that's difficult. But that's why I jumped straight back into the Tony Thompson rematch, because I wanted some clarity on what was going to come next, and I was like, right, I can put this right straight away and it can be like it hasn't happened. But for me, back then when I was younger, probably because it was a mindset thing as well, the doubt started creeping into my head before the fight of, fuck me, what if I don't win this fight? Where am I going to go? It dawned on me the size of what could happen if I didn't win. And like, if I knew then what I know now, I'd know that, you know, there's always a way back to at least some type of level if you want to keep doing it. It's just that I didn't get to the level where I was headed to. Now, Dillian, if he loses this fight, what does he do? Go back to British level? Could he go back to British level? That's the question you always ask for someone who's become a pay-per-view fighter in his own right. It'd be a big fall from grace if the same thing was to happen again. So that'll be on his mind going into it, but I think it's something he can deal with.
David, just looking back in hindsight, do you regret jumping straight back in with Thompson years ago, or not?
Not now, no. Because pretty much, there's, you know, unless I have a couple more fights, which may be the case, everything's all said and done, and it didn't turn out too bad in the end for me in my career. It could have went better, but you know what happens after it. I've been involved in some big fights, which is what I was in the sport for. I didn't go on and win the world title or fight for a world title, which I would have loved to have, but at the time, though, I did regret it massively up until, you know, not so long ago. But now I'm at peace a little bit, where, you know, what's done is done. What are you going to do? I can't regret it. But if they had me time again, I wouldn't have took it, because I was still British champion at that time, and I could have got one more defence against maybe Martin Rogan at the time, whatever, which was what my trainer wanted at the time. I could have got, you know, bagged a Lonsdale belt, got back to winning ways. It's important for younger fighters to realise that sometimes if you do lose to that man type of thing, the bogey man, just let it go. Like Amir Khan did against, hang on, someone phone. Like Amir Khan did against Brady's Prescott. Do you know, he ain't going back there. So, hindsight's great.
As they say. Just finally on this Dillian Whyte situation, what do you think happens in the rematch? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's going to be pretty much the same as what was happening, which was Dillian just boxing behind the jab and being cautious. But I think he can hurt him, obviously, again. He's hurt him before, he can hurt him again, and we know that goes both ways. But I think Dillian can hurt him and get the job done and turn the tables and stop him. Because it was in his hands to do that last time. But yeah, I think he can. It's just all about how he feels heading into it and the pressure of it all and everything else, which I think he can deal with. I think he'll put it right.
Well, we should hear some news of that this week. I think Eddie and Dillian were saying on social media, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, it's fascinating how like one fight pretty much changes, like you said, the landscape of everything going on. Before this, people were talking about Dillian being mandatory for the winner of Fury and Wilder, and now this has happened. It's like set him back. But I think the whole point is before Fury and Wilder fight is to get this fight out the way with Povetkin. So effectively, it wouldn't change anything before Wilder has his fight with Fury if they're to fight by the end of the year. Yeah,
big domino effect, hasn't it? That's what I mean. They're all linked together one way or another, and now it's just made things a little bit more interesting, hasn't it? But then where does Povetkin come into it? You know, I thought Povetkin and his team might have just sidestepped the rematch and just said, look, we're not having that rematch. We're just going to wait now and have this WBC against Fury. But being the gentlemen that they are, and although it probably tied in legally, they're going to oblige and take the rematch. So, you know, if Fury doesn't fight Wilder, though, is he going to fight? Who's he going to fight? It's all interesting. I just wish this COVID would fuck off, though, because it's just not the same, is it, without the fans? And it's hard work. It's the same with the footy. I can't get myself as excited for any of it, really, without the thought of the fans being there. It's just strange, but hopefully it'll be back to normal soon.
Yeah, hopefully by kind of the back end of November, back end of October, November, December, we'll start to see some sort of crowd there. So
yeah, hope so.
Let's see. Okay, David, thank you very much for your time.
All right, mate.
Monday morning.
Yeah, good morning. Have a good week.
You have a good week as well, mate, and hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, see you soon, mate.
All right, top man.
Thanks for you today, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.